Welcome to the Just Do It podcast, hosted by Anne Duffy. Dental Entrepreneur Women is here to dive deep and share stories with the mission to inspire, highlight, empower, and connect all women in dentistry.
Hello, everyone. It's Anne Duffy, and welcome to the Just Do It podcast. And Cara Cherry, my guest today, could be on either one of these podcasts. So we'll have to get you on the DE podcast again very soon. So I want to tell you a little bit about Cara before we get started. Cara Cherry is a Los Angeles-based regional manager for Patterson Dental, where she has worked for over 17 years. When not working, Cara enjoys spending time with her son Brandon, traveling, skiing, and riding horses. She is passionate about supporting women in the workforce and creating a greener planet. Please help me welcome my guest, the amazing new friend, Cara Cherry. Hi, Cara.
Hi, Anne. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm really excited to have this conversation.
You were so wonderful to write this amazing story. So I'm going to hold this up. That's why I got my virtual thing off here. The Due Spring 2023 edition. I love everything about that. That photo shoot was beautiful. And Cara was the cover story. So if you want to know a little bit more about her than you're going to hear today, please go to due.life. Check it out. It'll be spring 2023. So cool that you started riding horses when you were a little girl in Philadelphia. It's the thread of that in your story. When I was rereading it to prep today, I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder you're such a great leader. How did that evolve, the leadership that your team sees and that the company sees now?
I think that who we are is someone we've become. We didn't end up where we are today as we are. We've grown into this. And so as a leader, I'm extremely interested in where people come from, how they became, what impacted them. I would say that riding horses is probably the most impactful thing to my development as a human throughout my life. And it taught me immeasurable things about working hard, about caring for something else, about falling down and getting back up, the old proverb. But truly, it was something that taught a lot of great skills at a young age. It taught me how to work hard, and those all become ingrained in you as a human. It's served me really well in my entire life. And then as I got older, I realized it also taught me that what you invest in something is what comes of that for you. And I think that's a really important lifelong lesson. And so as I help grow my team members, as I support my team, I really try to understand who are you, where did you come from, what makes you tick, what's important to you. And I think going all the way back to when childhood even is odd sometimes in a corporate setting, but truly helps you help others a lot more when we understand who they really are.
I can see that, especially because we're formed in such an early age. And when you have that opportunity, and of course, riding horses is not that easy. Okay, you got to take care of the stalls. There's just so much that goes into it that does help form you as a person. And then, of course, I'm reading in your story that you took that on and then took the entrepreneurial route as a young lady, training other people, having this education platform that actually turned into a big business before you even got into Patterson or graduated from college, which is just incredible to me.
It was. I learned so many great life lessons running a business, dealing with parents and kids. And it's so funny looking back now that I'm a parent. I have an 8-year-old son. Until you're a parent, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so now looking back, I understand those parents a lot better.
Yeah.
Interesting experience. And I became a leader at 18 years old. And people were working for me, and it always felt natural and definitely progressed as a leader in the last 20 or so years. And I'm a much kinder, better leader today than I was at 18 or 25 or 30.
You must have the strengths. We're big in strength finders at the Due. So I don't know if you've ever taken strength finders, but you have the qualities of leadership all over you. They say, are leaders born or are they made? But if you're a born leader and you take leadership and you work on it and you work on your skills and your experience and you study it, you become an exponentially better leader than someone that's not actually gifted in that regard. And so I would say that is you. And especially I see running your teams. You were at the top sales division or whatever. You took the veterinary division from nobody knowing about it to the top of the company. And that is incredible at a young age. And I think you can show that achieving, driven competition part of you, not excluding the relationship part, makes you just a phenomenal leader. And I know that you're someone that the team can relate to, which I think is important to you.
Thank you so much for saying that. Teams only succeed together. So I don't take credit for all of our success at all. But I will say, I talk a lot about understanding people and who they are and where they come from. But I also am extremely driven and competitive. And I expect a lot from people. And I think that we're all privileged to work at Patterson, and to whom much is given, much is expected. I found that by creating a culture, you have to enjoy the work and you have to be willing to do the work. And that gets you those results, and that feels good. And that continues to create that energy, momentum, and culture. And I think that when teams are struggling and I dive deeper, you really see that somewhere along the line, their team members either don't know how to do the work, don't have the tools they need to do the real work, or don't want to do it. And so it's a dive in and understand at that level what's going on and how do we fix it.
That's beautiful, because they just might be in the wrong seat, right? They're good people, but they just might be in the wrong seat. But you have such a love for Patterson. I think that's so cool. You've been there for 17 years, but what gets you up in the morning and gets you going? That little Brandon, he's 8 years old. You still got a lot of work to do with him in the morning, I'm sure, before he gets on the bus. Yeah, exactly.
I love the people that are with, and I love what we do. And you work for a company that always keeps the patient experience, and then the customer, the dentist in mind. And how are we promoting better patient care? How are we enabling our customers? These are questions we ask ourselves every day and work on solutions for. And so I think being solutions-based and really working to serve a community serving humanity, mental health is so important. And the meaning and the connection to our overall well-being is proven more and more every day. So being a part of a great team with people I love and working on this mission, truly, I feel like we're mission-based, implement these technologies that impact patients.
That's awesome and admirable. And it circles back to your relationship piece that's so important to you. You've carried that on with your team. And I'm sure that's why your team loves you and stays intact, because they want to be appreciated. They want to be seen and be heard. And so often, different companies, you just clock in and clock out, and that is not sustainable in this day and age. So kudos to you that you've recognized that from a very, very early age in your career.
I personally understand the impact it has to have strong personal connections to wake up and go to work every day. And that's what I love about the team, but directly reports to me. They like each other. If we all lived in the same city, we'd hang out. So I think that's really breeds a lot of great ideas, sharing just an environment that's really healthy to work in.
Oh, I love it. It reminds me of Dude. You've created this group of people that they're like-minded. They love dentistry. They love the patient and the aspect of the culture and the mission-driven. Sometimes you think you already have too many friends or you have enough friends. But when you have a little common thread, I think it can enrich any friendship. And I love the fact that you feel that way because, again, I've worked for bosses that they didn't feel like they could be that close, could be likable, would want to be liked, and want to like everybody. So that comes right from the top. And I'm so happy and proud of you for setting that tone in your group. But one thing I saw in your article that I just absolutely loved, because I always say progress, not perfection with my team, because, perfection will kill us. And then one of your favorite sayings is perfect is the enemy of progress. And that was the first time I actually heard that was in your article. And it really puts a good frame on cause for burnout in dentistry, right? You really have to just take a beat, take a breath, and realize it's progress that's important.
It is. And I think when you are constantly seeking perfection, it really impedes progress because people are afraid to take risks. And so we have to fail fast and fail forward and try new things. We're living in a time where things are moving faster than they have ever moved in the history of the earth.
Yeah.
And with the invention of computers and digital technology and now AI, things are changing rapidly. And it's up to all of us to understand how to best use that for humanity and for better patient care and dentists' ability to run a more efficient business. I think we're going to see a lot of changes in not only in patient care with AI, but all offices are run.
It is crazy. Just came out. I think AI was just really came to everybody's forefront 2 years ago. And now it's just infinite what it can do. on the positive side for our offices of the patient care. But you were in veterinary when you first started, and then you got into dentistry. So what's so great about dentistry for you?
I'm glad you talked about this. I wanted to circle back to it. The relationships, really industry-wide, with just met some really wonderful people, dentists, bachelorettes, as managers, et cetera. And it's a great community of smart, caring people.
I would agree too. I think a lot of people try to leave dentistry, but it's pretty hard. And so many come back.
I think I'm a lifer.
You think you're a lifer. I love it. Well, it sounds like it because you've been with Patterson for 17 years. And in this day and age too, that's unheard of in some of the big companies. And I know that you've got, what's a special sauce there, Cara, for you to be there for 17 years and still be excited about what you're doing and loving your team, loving the work?
Patterson is putting people first. And we live by that. And for instance, during the pandemic, we did not lay off one person. We sent our cash to keep our people employed. And it's one of our biggest values is people first. And as a leader, I've always been empowered to do that at my level, whatever level that was. And I've seen everyone around me do the same. I think just the way we take care of people, the group of people we've been able to put together, and then always been rewarded for my effort and my performance, and been given great mentorship and power.
I think there's something to be said for that in this day and age too, because you build your team, you build your mentors, you bring people with you, and it's a nice ecosystem that you've built. It's hard to leave and then start all over again with something. And I think sometimes people leave a little too soon. You're going to hit those bumps in the road. It's probably from your riding experience when you were just a little girl. You'd fall off the horse, I'm sure many times, but you have to get back up and know that the next ride's going to be better. You're going to make that jump.
And I think, Patterson's not perfect. We've had changing the leadership over the years and improved and digressed and improved. Any company goes through something. Are you doing work that's important and it's new? Are you dealing with people that you like, that you learn from, that power you?
It's interesting because not very many bios I read you're really interested in not only supporting women in the workforce, bringing them up. I loved a lot of your story as you were talking about influencing, because we have, as young women, they have to see someone like you. Oh, we can attain that here. And this is going to help. And I loved how you tap on women if you can, whenever you can, if they've got maybe the inclination or you see something in them that they don't see in themselves. Because, we know that sometimes women, men will raise their hand and say, I can do everything. And then when we're like, well, I don't know, I don't have all the experience to do it, so I don't know if I can do it. But you have inched them along and give them that confidence. I also think that it's so cool that you're creating a greener planet. Tell me a little bit about that before we get off. Like, why does that float your boat? I know it's important, of course, for everybody, but to be in your bio, it's got to be near and dear to your heart.
It really is. And I just think that we as a society haven't done a great job with going green. I think we'd all agree with that. And I think that just like running our business, you look at the green market for green products, and it hasn't met the need of the people. We haven't approached people in a way that makes it doable for them. Mm-hmm. So how do you solve problems? Well, you've got to look for the barriers to entry, right? And what are the barriers? There are several. Lack of knowledge, lack of availability, worry that breeding products cost too much, not understanding what the historically used is doing to our bodies and our planet. And my thing is, it's not hard. It's very simple to do better for your own body and for the environment. I have a health nut, vegetarian, eat super clean, work out, keeping my son healthy and teaching him all the good eating habits. Then I think about the cleaning products you use. If it didn't occur to me until I was pregnant and was really aware, right, of what was impacting my body. And we look at all of these cleaning products, laundry products, and they're terrible for you. When some of this stuff is in jet fuel, and we're using it on our clothing that's rubbing on our body, that skin's your largest organ, right? You're absorbing that stuff. Mm-hmm. If we could get people just doing little baby steps and improving things, change your laundry detergent. And that's a huge offender. Great, you change your laundry detergent. Maybe in 6 months, you could think about changing your dish detergents and making it easy for people to find information about products and help them understand it's really possible at this point. And previously, this stuff didn't work well 5 years ago, but I would say it works well.
It sure does. I notice when I go to our son's house that the products that they use, I'm always so intrigued because they are so health driven and it's cleaner and it's better for the environment, better for the climate, and better for us. So we will continue that because, Brandon's only 8 years old and he's got a long life to live and we have a long life to live as well. And I love how Patterson is having that initiative also, I believe, to bring more green products to the dental industry, which has been a long time coming. But like AI, it'll be here before we know it, and we'll have our offices green and you'll be at the forefront of that, I'm sure.
And I love that most corporations, have initiatives surrounding this. We're doing a lot of things, just trying to be more efficient. And the great news is going green is good for business. It makes sense to do things more efficiently and more clean. So I am excited about that impact as well. We're going to see the big industry over the next several years.
That'll be fun to watch and see where you lead because you will be one of the leaders in that arena. Just ending here, one of the things I wanted to touch on is your desire to keep relationships around you, not only in your work, but in your life, strong. And I always thought about the Patterson reps that I've known, and it is about trust, isn't it? And you just can't fake that. So I think coming from the top, creating an environment that is progress, not perfection, and helping people realize they just have to get back up and how can I help you? For the leaders that are out there that maybe have a group that are reporting to them, what's the best advice you can give them as far as leading a team and keeping a team happy and productive?
Well, I'll tell you a little story. I got an email forwarded to me a couple weeks ago from them, and one of our customers was retired. And she wrote a letter about how Patterson was part of what they're doing, how we built the office, about how we solved countless problems for her throughout the years. We've had get well cards that she'd saved from our team for lifelong cancer. And just hearing the impact of a lifetime of relationship with Patterson, it really reinforced we have to be mission driven in what we do. If you're doing something that doesn't resonate with you, find something that does. Especially if you're a leader, because your team deserves so much more than. And having a team built on people that are mission driven is really such a special thing, and it benefits the company, the customer, the patients. And I just can't say enough how you have to connect with what you're doing.
Oh my gosh. Amen. Because that is true. Lean into your strengths, love what you do. It'll help you love yourself and love others.
I love about watching you or what you do. Number one, you're such a great conduit in the industry and keeping women, especially connected. So thank you for all the work you do with that.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. Well, together we're going to do some amazing things. We've got some work to do. And it's been just a pleasure having you. We had a beautiful retreat we just wrapped up in 24. We're going to do the same thing in 25.
I hope I'm there next year.
Listen, you know why? I checked the date.
I had phone.
We have the same date, but I checked this year. We're not overlapping the DTA because many of you guys have to do the DTA, which you love you guys. Great leadership in that community. And so, we're November 13th through 15th. The DTA is, I think, 2 weeks ahead or something like that. I just checked it. So I will see you next year at the Do Retreat in Charlotte, North Carolina. That'd be fantastic. So, Cara, thank you so much. You've been a dear friend. And I want to thank you for always opening your heart to me when I walk into a meeting. You're very high up on Patterson, but you always make room for somebody that's in need of a smile or a hug. And I appreciate you for that. So keep it up.
Same feeling.
I will. And if you're listening, anybody out there, remember the most important thing you can do is to keep doing you. Thanks, everybody. Cara, thank you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Just Do It podcast, hosted by Anne Duffy. To learn more about dental entrepreneur women, to share your story, or to join the movement, please visit our website, do.life. That is DEW.life. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcasting app to make sure you don't miss an episode. And in the meantime, keep doing you.